Here's the case that can be made for Ohio State to be ranked higher than Penn State on Selection Sunday. And I know Ward Manuel, a committee member, said that teams that aren't playing this weekend, they're not moving. The 13th game is just an additional data point. But the debate is open for Penn State's additional game to be used against them when it comes to Ohio State. That's because Penn State didn't really earn their path to Indianapolis. Ohio State just lost it when Michigan upset them. So I think that opens the door for comparison if they were to lose to Oregon in the Big Ten Championship. The committee has made it clear that wins are far more impactful than losses when it comes to strength of schedule. Hence, Alabama knocking out Miami, and we also saw 3 2-loss teams over 1-loss Indiana and Boise State, 3-loss Alabama over 2-loss Miami, Arizona State, and Iowa State. They care more about who you play. And Ohio State has a stronger overall schedule than Penn State, with the 26th schedule in the country that's compared to Penn State's 36th. They're also beating those teams by a full touchdown more. Ohio State has the second highest scoring margin at plus 25, Penn State plus 19. Ohio State is the only team in the 12-game playoff that has faced all 3 other Big Ten contenders, and those were in top 5 matchups. They had a great showing in all of those games, with 2 of them being on the road. Ohio State has played the 7 best teams in the Big Ten, with the only exception being Illinois. Penn State, they played the 4 of the 5 worst teams in the Big Ten. Yeah, the Michigan loss hurts, but it was just a field goal, and Michigan is still better than most teams Penn State has played in the conference. They're the reigning national champion, and they're currently 7th in the conference. It really does help that Penn State didn't have to face the Wolverines. Removing the divisions and expanding the playoff helped Penn State more than any other team. Ohio State had the harder path. The Nittany Lions and the Buckeyes have just one common opponent, that being the worst team in the Big Ten in Purdue. The Buckeyes got them at home, but blew them out 45-0. Penn State put up 49 on the road, but also allowed 10 points. That gives Ohio State yet another data point they're better than Penn State at by a touchdown. On Selection Sunday, Penn State will have another common opponent if they lose, and it will be worse than Ohio State's loss in Oregon. The Buckeyes, they had to go to a hostile environment in Autzen Satdium's largest capacity ever. They saw 7 lead changes, with the game ultimately determined by just 1 point, and a penalty call that the NCAA changed following the game. Penn State gets them on a neutral site, and I don't think the committee needs to worry about setting a precedent that punishes a team for appearing in their conference championship. That's because not all paths are the same, and the team that's not playing this weekend gave Penn State the path to the Big Ten championship, which opens the door for those 2 teams to be compared. The committee can have the debate on a precedent set with SMU if Clemson beats them in the ACC Championship, which makes the door open for Ohio State to be above Penn State on Selection Sunday.